ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely a thing now. It's a Woliday. We're seeing it in the property market, rental market, sales market, in the property market. Stay tuned. We're going to tell you what we're seeing with Wolidays.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes. Myself, Michael Berger, Mark Novak, episode 522. The trends that we are seeing more and more. Mark's named it the Woliday. Mark, what is a Woliday? What is the trend, and what does it mean for people?
It's really, really smart because this time round, people have gone to hell with this. Realistically, we're not seeing our kids going to go back to school this year, which means that, that pushes it all the way through to February. Parents are at home. Everyone's got out of their system. If they were going to buy and sell to move a couple of hours south or a couple of hours north, the buyers and sellers have done their thing. But now people are going, you know what? It wasn't enough for me to do the actual move, as in sell, as in buy, but this is enough of a push for a family to go, you know what? We're going to do a miniature version. We're going to rent out our property where we are currently living, maybe in Manly, maybe in DY, maybe in Leichhardt, those sort of areas. We're going to rent out our property, and we are going to go to a farm, or we are going to go to Queensland, and we're going to have a Woliday.
And this is brought on from the lockdowns, restricted access, and people coming to the realization this is probably going to continue for another 3 to 12 months, where previously we had the initial, then we thought, all right, everything will be back to normal. We didn't really think like a lot of people would have thought, all right, we're past that now. Whatever I did for the last couple of months, it'll go back to normal. I don't need to think 6, 12, 18 months in advance. But now with what's happened and what you're just saying, a lot of people now realize, well, I need to make a decision and expect it to go on for the next 6 to 12 months. And that's why people are like, well, I will work from home. Or why, if I'm going to be stuck at home and I can't go to the office, why can't I be at my farm? Why can't I be up at Queensland? Because I think that's sort of where we're getting to. We're seeing a lot of clients now who didn't make this decision in the first 6 months, 9 months of COVID, because everyone basically thought we wouldn't be where we are. But now it's like, okay, we're probably going to be in this scenario for a while, so let's make the most of it. So when you say Woliday, you're more talking about a combination of working and holiday combined. Like going to your farm may normally be associated with a little holiday break from work, but if you've got
2 days,
why not do both at the same place? So what does that mean in the property market if this trend continues and more people do it? So what's the message out there?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think what people are starting to realise is I call it COVID fatigue. People are like groundhog, ground down, and they're going, okay, this is actually going to go, and where is the light at the end of the tunnel? It's definitely a longer lockdown than our number one lockdown that we had in New South Wales. When you look at the light at the end of the tunnel, it's a lot longer. We're also ground down financially because a lot of people, if they had any savings and stuff like that, they used a lot of it in COVID-1. So there's that COVID fatigue around, and people are going, you know what? I don't have the balls enough to actually sell up and go and buy in Queensland or South, but I've got the balls enough to actually just give this a go because it's always an ambition. I have another couple that I'm dealing with at the moment. She's from the States, he's from Australia, and they're doing the same thing. 1 year, let's go. We're off, and we're going to go to the States for a year, and grandma or grandpa's not well. So let's get the kids to spend time with grandma, grandpa. Let's go. We can work from the States. Let's do it. So, and let's rent out our asset. Should we sell our asset in Sydney? No. Should we rent out our asset in Sydney? So they're going through those. So these Wolidays. You're working. You're in a holiday sort of maybe tone
scenery.
or area, like location, scenery, and they're long. They're 6 months. They're 1 year, and people are renting out their assets where they are. I think it's good.
I agree. It's a great idea. It's making the best out of a worse scenario. Like, I think a lot of people, the thought of working from home is great until it's day on day, week on week, month on month. And there'll be a lot of people out there who will be like, shit, I've worked from home for a year. There's just no happiness. And you just sort of get more and more in a hole. So if you can sort of change that scenery, go for it. And that means there'll be good opportunities there may be more properties come on the rental market as well. Owners willing to do some sharper deals, especially for whatever, let's say in commercial, we're seeing that market of landlords willing to negotiate a lot more. We saw that in the first sort of 3 to 6 months of COVID, and then a lot of properties were rented, and then the sort of owners were a bit firmer on what they wanted. But now with the third or fourth stage of these lockdowns and with all government dialogue, it's going to keep happening. So I think owners as well are a bit more like, let's just get it rented. Luke, what do we say? Are people spending? I don't know any formal data, but I know myself personally, a couple of weeks of isolation, I had an Amazon delivery every day. You just get bored and spend. So I still think a lot of people would be spending, but I haven't seen any official data, but I'll have a look on LinkedIn, see if I see anything.
I know the 24th of July was the lowest spending on credit card level for New South Wales in the last 18 months. 24th of July, I believe that date was, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And on what you said about Amazon, Burge, like I've got a big paper and cardboard problem at home.
Or Amazon deliveries.
Yeah, so 3 girls, it's stuff. What are you buying with your spending, Burge?
Oh, little shit. Incense, golf balls, cleaner for my golf clubs, random shit.
Yeah, because I notice at home there are a lot of creature comforts that everyone's buying. So it's whether it's activewear or sneakers or whether it's bedspreads or I don't know. Like I find that people are nesting and they're shopping online in order to do the nesting. But anyway, Wolidays, board spending. Yeah, it's probably board spending.
Brisbane rent increase.
What have we got here from Luke? Opportunities are rife. Crank it up. Let's go. Pivot the shit out of this COVID. Yeah, mate, it's true. I honestly think it's just a great time for people to do this sort of stuff. And I've got to say, the Woliday is quite clever because I'm not a fan of making an erratic change in your life based upon what's happening to you in the present moment. And I think that people often make knee-jerk decisions and reactions and then they regret them years later. The Woliday is quite a clever way because, if it is a real thing and you are in that farm on your Woliday 6 months later, you're going, you know what? This is sustainable. Or you may end up going, you know what? I need my tribe. I need to have my parents around me, my friends around me. I need to get back. So a Woliday is a really good segue into, is this a sustainable life in Queensland? So if you've just tuned in, what a Woliday is a working putting yourself in a holiday environment and working through it. And we're calling it a Woliday, and renting out your asset, for instance, in Sydney, and going to rent out a farm, or going to live in a nice apartment in Queensland or something. So, yeah.
And I definitely agree with the renting and not selling. Like, I had the conversation with my physio because they were thinking about basically going on a little holiday. The husband can work from home, and they were thinking, should we buy up there? And I was like, I don't think anyone for an investment style of this should be buying anywhere at the moment with that aspect, because it's such an inflated, artificial growth market for any of that holiday stuff, in my opinion. When we cannot
Don't bank on COVID.
Yeah, basically, like, I'm all for, even if the rent is double what it was before COVID, pay double, because if you go to buy that holiday home because you don't like the idea of paying rent and the rents are through the roof, or so would the sale price be. So I'm all for when I hear the rates in Queensland, the Brisbane are up 10-15%, which is great.
Wow.
And people can still rent it because you don't want to be, putting a large amount of money in this one-off thing. I like the leasing side of things. I like when people make the big change, Mark. They do it all the time. They've lived on, say, Northern Beaches for 20 years. They say they want to move to the country. And instead of just going rent for a year, see if they even like it, they've sold their property up there. They buy the property up there. And then a year later, they're like, shit, I don't like this. They come back here to buy in the market. It's gone up 10%. The country is the same. They can't even buy what they were in. So I think a lot of people rush sell, rush buy when they should just chill and rent and go to 6 different areas and rent. You could rent 6.
Well, that's right. Try before you buy.
Exactly. I think a lot of people need to do that more.
And the thing is, Goy, you said there, Burge, I think if you're basing your business on COVID, I think you're in trouble. I think if you've done if you're going to do a property transaction on the back of because of COVID, it's simply not going to be sustainable. So watch out, be careful. If you're going to bank your business, don't bank. If you're going to bank on doing anything, don't do it over what's happened in trending the last 10 years, not the last 10 months.
Yeah, lots of people have rented first on the move to Queensland. A year later, sale increasing. Yeah, which is good. And at the end of the day, I'd still, which is fine. Perfect. Anything else you want to say on that, Mark? I think that's a wrap on the Woliday.
That's a take. But if you can do it, guys, I reckon it sounds friggin' awesome to do a Woliday. It sounds exotic. It sounds fun. It sounds like messing it up a little bit. People aren't getting their overseas fix to mess stuff up a little bit. So a Woliday could be that solution.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow. Cheers.
See you guys.